Well, I've got to admit, this is not the original intro that I recorded for this video, but after thinking about it quite a bit, watching some other videos on this e-trike online and seeing all the same frustration out of everybody, there's really no way to sugarcoat it. This might be one of the worst e-bikes available today, and all of us have the same gripe, and that is the assembly process. So this e-trike comes almost completely disassembled, and I'm talking about the front wheel is on the front half of the frame, and that's it. You've got to attach the rear half of the frame to the front, the derailleur, the brakes, and pretty much everything that you see here. But in the spirit of fairness, and because I spent so much time putting this thing together, let's go ahead and test it out anyways. Let's see if it can redeem itself. I'm all for giving it a try. So in today's video, we're gonna start things off with an overview of the features and the specs. Then we're gonna take it out on the road. We're gonna give it a try and we're gonna see how this thing actually performs. And by the end of the video, we'll know whether or not the 8 or 9 hours I spent putting this thing together was worth it or not. So let's go ahead and get started with today's episode of Hobart's Reviews. It could get interesting. Today, we're looking at the Mooncool TK1 electric trike. It retails for $1,599, but is on sale for $1,399 at the time of taping this video in June of 2024. But what do we get from Mooncool on the TK1 for that price? Well, first of all, it's available in 6 colors: navy blue, pink, black, dark red, green, and cyan, which is the color I'm going to be showing you today. They also include a trike set bundle with an Allen key tool, bottle holder, and a net for your rear basket. Now, if you want some extra protection for your electric trike, you can purchase an extra 2 or 3 years of protection from them on their website when you buy your trike. What's nice is that Mooncool offers free shipping on all their trikes. They have a 30-day return policy, and they offer a standard 1-year warranty. Now, as I just said, you can purchase that extra 2 and 3 year warranty if you want. Well, now that we've gone over the colors and the shipping and the warranty, let's talk about specs. Well, the TK1 has a 500-watt motor with 750 watts peak. They also claim to have 85 Newton meters of torque, which should easily get you up the steepest of hills and overpasses. For the battery, we have a 48-volt, 15-amp-hour lithium-ion battery, which gives this electric trike a stated range of 30 to 45 miles on a charge. Now, depending on the rider's weight, the surface you're riding on, how much pedaling you're doing, you might get more like 15 to 25 miles realistically. Now, if you do run the battery all the way to empty, which I don't recommend, it will take about 6 to 8 hours to charge it to full, and you can remove the battery with the included key. Now, this way, if you're out and about or eating at a restaurant and you need to do some charging, you can take the battery off, bring it inside with you, and charge it inside without having to bring the whole trike inside. Well, the TK1 comes with 20-inch by 4-inch fat tires, both on the front and on the rear. And along with this front suspension here, you're gonna have a nice, comfortable ride. I notice when I'm riding on fat tires that it feels a little bit more cushioned than it does when I'm riding on standard tires. And here's a pro tip for you to try to prevent flats. Make sure before each ride that you check your tire pressures and keep them at the maximum recommended tire pressure. In this case, I believe it's around 30 PSI. If you do that and stay away from riding over junk, you should be okay. For brakes, the TK1 has front 160mm disc brakes, and in the rear it has one disc brake in the middle, which is going to stop both wheels. Now, this is different than the Admotor E310 that I reviewed previously, which had triple disc brakes, or one on each wheel. Mooncool gives us a really nice, comfortable seat to sit on. It's very similar to the Admotor E310 seat that I reviewed previously. Now, it's nice and wide for pretty much any size rear end. You got some ventilation right here in the bottom, and then you have an adjustable backrest. Now, I did notice that this backrest, even while tight, still likes to slide down if you lean on it. Now, it'll stay up when you're riding, and it'll stay in place, but if you do lean on it, it does slide down. And I didn't notice that on the Admotor one. But overall, a really nice, comfortable seat, and it's adjustable. You don't need any tools, just pull this latch. You have plenty of room to go up or down, depending on your height. You just do that and lock it down, and you're ready to ride. Well, the TK1 has a Shimano 7-speed shifter, which is easy to use and allows you to keep up with the pedaling even at your fastest speed. Warning though, this trike is not assembled when you receive it. I spent several hours just assembling it and then several more hours trying to adjust the derailleur cable so that it would switch through all 7 gears. As I said earlier, Mooncool is going to include some goodies in your order, and in my order I got a Mooncool heavy-duty lock here with a key, and I got this rain cover which should protect it from the elements. You also get a nice front basket. It's sturdy, it's welded together, it's really nice. And then in the rear, they didn't do such a good job. This is not a sturdy, welded together basket. The way that you hold this basket together is actually by these little metal strips that you're supposed to bend around the post. And while I've been filming today, just jiggling it around, as you can see, it jiggles, so it's gonna make noise when you're riding. It's just a really bad design, but I've actually had a couple of these strips fall off while I've been here filming just from jiggling it. So it's a piece of crap design. You guys need to fix that. The back basket needs to be welded. It's just not good. Well, that's our first look at the Mooncool TK1 electric trike. So what do you say? Let's take this baby out on the road and see how it performs. All right, guys, well, the first thing that we do all the time is a top speed test to see how long it takes us to get to the top speed. In this case, 16 miles an hour. Now we've got a 500 watt motor up front, 750 watt peak. So it should have some pretty good acceleration. So let's go ahead and speed mode 3. We're gonna use the thumb throttle and we're gonna go ahead and find out. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, whoa, 4. It took 7 seconds. Let's go ahead and do that again here. All right, so from a stop with the thumb throttle, speed mode 3 and go. It's a little slow to start, but then it really picks up. 7, about 7 seconds. But the motor cuts off really abruptly at 16 miles an hour. And it almost feels like somebody's putting on the brakes a little bit, you know what I mean? So I'm not a big fan of that. Now it takes a second or two for the motor to kick in when you start pedaling, and you'll notice that it takes almost like 3 seconds in that case. And it also doesn't stop exactly when you stop pedaling either. So let's go ahead and try that again. Ready? Start pedaling, 1, 2, 3. So it's about 3 seconds before the motor engages and about a second until it disengages when you stop pedaling. Well, the good thing about it only going 15 miles an hour, I guess, is that you can still keep up with the pedaling. Some of these other bikes that go faster than that, it's really hard to keep up with the pedaling after you get to a certain point, where I can keep up with the pedaling at top speed here at 15 miles an hour, which is really nice. Allows you to get some exercise. Now the suspension and the fat tires are doing a pretty good job at keeping the ride nice and comfy. Now, there is kind of a little bit of a shake, and I'm not sure if you can see it in the camera or not. And I don't really feel it too much in my rear end, but there is a noticeable shake. I'm not sure if we've got wobbly wheels or what, but I really wish we could get up to 20 miles an hour or so. That motor really feels like it wants to go, and it just cuts itself off at the knees at 16 miles an hour. Ew, why is it that the disc brakes have to squeak so much on these electric bikes and scooters these days? I'm just not a fan. Anyways, we're here at the berm, the world famous berm. We're gonna try a grass test and a berm test to see if we can get up it and how fast we can go on it. So let's go ahead and speed mode 3 and see how well it does. Oh, here we are, we're going up. Oh, baby. All right, it made it up. So that motor's definitely got some torque to it. You can hear those fenders though. I'm doing a top speed of 15. Woohoo! Yeah, buddy. Oh, oh. All right. Wow. This thing isn't doing too bad. Go ahead and go down. Now let's see how well it does going directly straight up. Let's see. Can it get up there? Ooh, nope, not gonna get up there. All right, let's see how much of a head start we gotta give it. Can I get up there with pedaling? Nope, not gonna get up there with pedaling either. All right, so it's not gonna get up a steep slope like that in this thick of grass without a little bit of a head start. So let's go ahead, give it a head start. See if we can get up it again. Ooh, yeah, all right. Now I've also noticed that the rear fenders like to clankety clank up against the tires when I go over bumps. This one was actually real bad. I had to bend the fender out a little bit in order to get it to not always hit up against the tire and make a constant noise. But both of them, when you go over bumps, make a clickety clank sound, and it just drives me nuts. I mean, I gotta say the acceleration is really nice on here. It's really sad that we have to stop at 16 miles an hour because it just starts to get going and then it cuts off. All right, let me give you my final thoughts here on the Mooncool TK1. Let's start off with what I can find in the positive category. And I'm gonna say that the seat is comfortable. Does have some defects, but it is comfortable. I love the backrest on there. It makes long rides really comfortable. Also, the fact that you have a removable battery is a huge pro. That is something where if you're going to have dinner somewhere and you need to do some charging, you can leave the trike outside, lock it up, and then take the battery inside on its own, charge it up, and then when you leave, plug it back into the bike. So that's a really nice feature. Also, the motor is really powerful. I wish that they wouldn't limit it to 16 miles an hour because it really wants to go. So they gave us a really nice powerful motor. The torque is nice. It gets you up pretty much any hill. Not huge grass hills from a standstill as you saw, but for the most part you're getting up any overpass, or if you get a running start you can get up pretty much any hill. As you saw on the berm, I was able to ride that at full speed. So those are some of the positives. There's a lot of negatives though with the Mooncool TK1. Number one is going to be that assembly, and I'm gonna rant because Mooncool, you can't send a trike, especially to the older generation, which a lot of these are marketed to, where they're going to have to put two halves of the frame together themselves with some bolts. Not even I can do it at 42 years old. It took me hours to do. Professionals I talked to, it took them hours to do. So the assembly is the number one gripe that we all have, and that is one big reason why I wouldn't probably buy this e-trike. The next kind I'm going to have is this piece of crap back here. As you can see, it jiggle jangles. There's just metal holding it together. I think that maybe if they would include some zip ties. Zip ties are a little bit stronger than bending metal yourselves. Plus, you could cut your fingers wide open easily, so it's a safety hazard. But this is not good. I think I'm going to get some zip ties and zip tie it together, so at least it's not jiggle jangling while I'm riding down the road. What else? I also don't think that it's a very portable trike. The Ad Motor E310 folded right here in the middle. While they do have the handlebar that folds, and I'll give them that, that's pretty much it. You just push the seat down, you fold the handlebars, but it's still this long. So unless you have a pickup truck, you're probably not going to be taking this inside your car or your SUV. So not very portable. So that's a con as well. It does make a lot of noises. I mean, there's squeaky brakes. It clickety clanks in the back. The gear shifts are not quite right, so you have that noise constantly when you're riding. The fenders are flimsy as heck. So whenever you ride over a bump, you hear them clickety clank as you're going, and that just annoys the crap out of me. So they need to really strengthen a lot of those things up. But you know, they do have some work to do. Overall, you know, I'd probably hold off right now on purchasing one of these, just to be totally honest with you. That's what I'm here for, until they fix some of these problems. Maybe they can assemble it at the factory and just have it where you install the seat and the handlebars and you're ready to go. So hopefully they're watching this video and they take it to heart. Well, if you do have any questions or comments about this guy, go ahead and leave them down in the comments and I'll be happy to answer whatever I can for you. If you do want to purchase one, I'll leave a link below. It is an affiliate link that will help out my channel, but it's not going to cost you any more. And I appreciate you joining me and sticking through it with me today. It's kind of disappointing, but for all of you out there who say that I get paid for my reviews and that I just say nice things all the time, well, here's a perfect example of why I tell you I don't get paid for my reviews, and it's all about honesty, and this just isn't that good. So thanks for joining me. My name is Hobart for Hobart Reviews and the Mooncool TK1 electric trike. Thanks for joining me. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you.